Today, I'm going to show you how to add 3D objects to your video and have them flying around. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be using this Nature Effects 3D pack to add it into our videos to get realistic 3D leaves, sticks, rocks, all that stuff in our video very easily. Big shout out to Tapes for sending over his Nature 3D overlay pack. If you want to add nature elements to your video like sticks, rocks, leaves floating and spiraling around your subject, this pack is for you. But I also have other 3D packs linked in the description. I believe he has like a lean pack, heart pack. We have that 3D Money Vortex pack collab that we did together. And there might be a few others that I'll have linked in the description. They're really convenient to use if you don't feel like making 3D stuff from scratch, but you also don't want like those really cheap looking 3D stuff that you can download off YouTube. So yeah, if you're interested in any of that, I'll have it linked in the description. I'm gonna be using the Nature pack, like I said, in this video. But yeah, drop a like on the video and suggest a tutorial in the comments below. So to get started in After Effects, like I said, we're gonna be using the Nature pack. It just makes sense with our footage. So I'm gonna start it off by using this leaf transition and then just scaling it down to 50% because it's actually in 4K. And then I'm gonna go to time stretch and stretch it out to 125. In After Effects, when you type the number, you would think adding 125 would actually make it faster, but it actually makes it slower. So now we have a simple transition going through, and then I'm just playing around with the different leaf vortexes. I want this one vortex to kind of be around Doja Cat, but like not like super big. I'm just kind of lining them up right now so we can go back and tweak it later. And then I'm gonna drag on this other vortex and have it a little bit closer so it like has like two layers, like there's one closer to the camera and one further away from the camera. I think that helps out a lot, like selling the effect. It's already looking really good in my opinion, but I want to motion track the smaller vortex to Doja a little bit, and then I'm just gonna keyframe the position. That way it kind of just follows her throughout the scene. It's really subtle, but those little things help out a lot. And then when you hide it with the other vortex together, it looks pretty good. And then for this first scene, I want to add some kind of like floating up leaves because in the pack, there's these vortexes and then also these floating up leaves. So for here, I'm going to start it super scaled in and then keyframe it and go to the end and then scale it down actually. That way, when the camera is kind of moving out, it makes it look like the leaves are getting like smaller, like if they were actually there. And then I'm doing the same thing for this other floating leaves. I think with these style packs, it's really good to stack the overlays together. That way it just feels a little bit more whole and kind of hides the imperfections of the 3D stuff. And then let's drag on Gaussian blur to some of these overlays and keyframe the blurriness. For this first one, I'm going to keyframe the Gaussian blur from 0 to something around 10. That way, as the camera pulls back, it becomes a little bit less out of focus. And then for this leaf transition, I'm just going to bring on Gaussian blur and blur it just a little bit. That way, it's not like super in your face with a lot of detail when it slides by. And then again, just dragging Gaussian blur on these other ones and just keyframing them to kind of make sense in your footage. These little things like adding Gaussian blur will help out a lot. So again, for that further vortex, I'm adding a little bit of blur. That way, the closer leaves are a little bit more in focus than the ones in the background. And then lastly, I'm just adding an adjustment layer and adding a few things to just kind of blend the footage together. I'm adding my filmic LUT for my essentials bundle. Then I'm also adding Dehancer Pro with some halations and some bloom. And then finally, I'm just adding RSMB on top of all of that. Those three things can help sell the 3D effects so much more. And it doesn't have to be RSMB, my LUT, or Dehancer, but just adding some different color grading, some grain, and also some motion blur will help out so much. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys in this 3D leaf tutorial. Like I said, I'm gonna have this pack linked in the description as well as all the other ones I mentioned at the beginning of the video. If you made it all the way to the end, I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, like the video, and if you're not subscribed, be sure to be subscribed because like I said, I'm uploading a video every single day of this month. Peace!